Hello everybody and welcome to my video review of the Transformers Studio Series SS-07 Grimlock from the Age of Extinction movie. So to start off with, we'll take a look at the packaging. So this box is huge, so this is going to be kind of difficult to fit on camera here. But we got a 3D render of Grimlock here, 07, got the Age of Extinction logo, got his name, Transformers. On this side, we have another image of Grimlock in his dinosaur mode. Up here is an Autobot symbol. On the back here, we have pictures of other Wave 1 figures, and then we have a picture of Grimlock in his robot mode and his T-Rex mode. And on this side, we have another picture of Grimlock here. It says Studio Series. Got the 07 up there. And the backdrop included with this figure is equally as large as the box, and it depicts the scene at the end of Age of Extinction during that whole fight in Hong Kong. I believe it is the same backdrop that was included with the SS-02 Stinger. But here we can get Grimlock up there. So big he doesn't even really fit in the frame there. Yeah, I'd have to say, at least so far, Grimlock is probably the largest figure in the Studio Series. And that's all the way up until, the new ones about to come out are like 70. And I don't think, other than like Devastator, I don't really think anything has surpassed this dude in size. So I did not notice this until editing the video, all the way after I'd recorded it. But the entire time I have the feet backwards, so I tell you to put it like this in the transformation for the robot mode, but this is actually how it goes for the dinosaur mode. For robot mode, it's the other way, like this. So I have that backwards through the whole video, so I just thought I would correct that real quick. So looking at his robot mode here, other than he's just absolutely massive, he also has this little rubber band here. I just leave that on there for T-Rex mode, so don't worry about that. But he has this really, really nice, like, almost like dry brush effect on him that gives him kind of, it's like metallic green over gray, kind of. And like, let's see here if I can adjust this light, kind of get a closer view of this. It looks really, really nice, and it's really impressive. And this guy being from the first wave of releases, it kind of surprises me that they haven't made any of the other Age of Extinction Dinobots yet, just because of how nice Grimlock turned out. They can totally take what they did with this figure and translate it to the other Dinobots, and I feel like people would really like that. Especially for people like me who are trying to get all of the characters. It'd definitely be nice to get those other Dinobots, especially if they look like this, because this paint job is incredible. This is one of the nicest looking Transformers in the entire Studio Series, in my opinion. But like, even like the details, you see all this like molded in mechanical details here. Looks really good. I really, really like the way this figure looks. So on this hand here, he has this little spike ball. He has no accessories. He just comes as is. There exists upgrade kits to give him things like his staff and stuff like that, and to make the little ball detachable. I don't have any of those, but the character comes like this. Just really great looking figure. And this guy's size does not hinder his articulation much at all. His head, like usual, is on a ball joint here, so you can look side to side. Can't really look up, but you can look down. This little spike up here is made out of rubber, so you won't break that. So are these, his little dinosaur head spikes. Those are also made of rubber. But his arms can come out. It's on a ratchet here. It can come out that far and then can go down about that far. It's not a whole lot of motion there. He has no elbow rotation going this way. It goes this way. So he can kind of rotate his arm, make it look like he's bending there. He has no wrist rotation because his wrist is fixed in this. But he does have wrist rotation on this side. And his arm bends pretty much the same way on this arm. He has waist articulation, mostly due to transformation. And if you move these little skirt pieces out of the way, his legs also on ratchets can kick out that far. And can kick back about that far. Then he has rotation at the hips there, at the thighs. His knee joints are on a ratchet as well. Come down. And then he has his feet are on ball joints, and if you open this little hook out here, you can kind of move them a little bit more. They're on ball joints. They can kind of rock, but it's mostly due to transformation there. But other than that, he's pretty well articulated, especially for a figure this big. And when I say this big, I'm really not exaggerating when I say this thing is massive. So let's bring out the SS-09 Bumblebee here. And I think I've made my point right there. This guy is huge. And now Bumblebee isn't the biggest figure. He's not even the biggest in the deluxe waves. But one that is a bit on the bigger side here for Voyager class is Starscream. And even still, Grimlock just dwarfs him. He looks so small next to Grimlock. Now when you put Bumblebee in the middle, Bumblebee looks tiny. But it's not that, it's just Grimlock is absolutely massive. But getting these out of the way here. Alright, so to move on to transformation here, I like to start by taking his feet here, just folding these out and spinning them around on both sides. Then you can come up here, and we can start over here. We can pull this whole dinosaur head off like that. Move his little arms out of the way. Pull this down, and it's on a little double hinge here. This will go, kind of just sit down there for the minute. Then you can take his whole fist here, rotate it at that bicep joint there. Click it down. You can rotate him at the waist. Yeah, it'd be this way. Alright, we can wait for that. So take this, and you want to take his fist here, and you want to tuck it into this section down here, like so. And then you can take this jaw here, and there's these two little tabs. I'll tab in these two little slots down here. Oop, bump the camera. Like this. We can line them up. There we go. Making sure that the fist stays pushed up. So that, there we go. Jaw piece comes together here. You can position his little arms however you want. Now I can come over here. I keep this little rubber band on here just to hold things in dyno mode. You don't need this. Mine is just a little bit loose, so I like to have them. But you can take this little section here and just pull this whole part out and down. Fold his little head horn in and rotate this whole section back. Then you can go ahead and get that out of the way there. You can go ahead and just clip this whole section back in. If I can get it. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now, we can come over here. You can flip this down. spin this up and just kind of get that out of the way for now. Then we can come down here to his legs, fold this little skirt piece up, and his whole section here will just split in half. Oh, that popped off. Let's clip that back on there. It doesn't normally happen. You kind of pull these kind of just to the side, and then kind of pull down with it as you do it, and it'll come off in this little double hinge here. And then you can straighten the hinge joint there and push this up. Do this on both sides here. And this figure is so big it's hard to get on camera. Once you have these unhinged here, you can go ahead and spin this whole dude around on his waist there. Take these, push that up. And now these are on a little rotation joint here. You want to get this tab here into that slot there. Like that. And then this whole part here, will kind of click together like that. Do that on both sides here. Got this tab there and that slot there. Right there. So I can get it to go in. There we go. And you clip that section in there. Then coming back here, oh, that part fell off again. I'll just leave that for now. Coming back to his arm here, you can rotate his whole arm around. Or, no, okay. Leave that like that. Split this dinosaur head here. Split this in half. And should have done this before doing the legs here. So I'm just gonna untab that, fold this down, tab that back in there. This thing is so big, it's difficult. Cat. So now I gotta see here. This part go up. No, this part goes down. Okay. Trying to see where I messed up here. Let me see. Okay, so after quickly checking the instructions, this is right. I thought this had to spin around somehow, but the instructions kind of don't say. So I'm gonna go with this. I use this little rubber band here. It came on the figure. I use it to just hold this piece up because mine is loose. But you want to take that last little piece of his skirt there, fold that up. It should hold. Mine doesn't though, so I like to do that. But you can come up here to his knees, and his knees are on a double joint here. So you want to bend them a little bit and then bend them at the second joint. And then what you can do is you can actually bend them forward a little bit like that, if you see what I'm saying there. Then you can rotate this up at the hip here. So to show that again, bend at this joint, and then bend at that back joint here, and bend forward at this joint. Then you can attach anything that came undone, align all these, flare his little knee pads out, position it however you want, and there we are in dyno mode. Oh, I almost forgot this piece here. This piece, it popped off on mine. So all you do is you just fold that up down here. It just chills right there. But now that we're in dinosaur mode here, so Grimlock is supposed to resemble a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which I've never seen one in real life, so I can't compare it. But they did a really good job matching what you see on screen here. There's only a couple little gaps here, like up here. I don't really like how that looks, and I wish they could have done something to the tail. I thought the tail did spin. I thought the curve here was up, but I was wrong. I haven't really busted this figure out in a little while, so kind of a learning experience there. But overall, he looks really good. A lot of that, oh, his jaw has articulation too. So does the tail slightly, just due to that being his arm. And then, so he has articulation wherever he used to, pretty much. Just now, instead of arms, he has these little arms up here with these little pokers. But all in all, really, really nice looking alt mode here. Definitely unlike most of the other ones, as this one is a dinosaur and most of the other ones are vehicles. And he still maintains his size. He really doesn't get much smaller when he transforms. So here he is. And here is the SS-8604 Hot Rod. And now, Hot Rod is a smaller Voyager. But like, Grimlock is a leader class, so he should be much larger, and he is. He's absolutely massive. I would go as far as saying he is the largest robot in the entire studio series, especially as of right now. Other than Devastator, but Devastator is a combiner, so I'm not going to count that. Now to compare him with something a little bit different here, here is the SS-65 Blitzwing. And still, Grimlock is just massive. It's hard to even like get him on camera fully. But this is a very, very large transformer here, as you can see, because Blitzwing is a decent sized Voyager in his vehicle mode, and Grimlock is just huge, as he should be. And now that we've seen just how large this figure is, we can go ahead and transform him back into his dinosaur, or into his robot mode here. So to start, we can do here, where to start? Let's start with the legs. So I can just kind of unhinge that tab there, and this section down here, right there. You can go ahead, straighten his legs, put him back at the normal knee joint, fold this up, take this, spin it around, and this hook here will go into this little pocket back here. Do that on both legs. Go ahead and do the knee first. Spin this, put that up there. I'm gonna unhinge, maybe. Okay, no, it untabbed first. That is a tight lock there. Oh, I don't want to break that. Oh, there we go, okay. God, that holds really tight right there. But, so you can fold his legs. That popped off again. That has never really been an issue for me, but today. So you can fold his legs down to here, and they will fit together with these tabs. And you just kind of squeeze them together, and then push it up to solidify the connection there. And you can kind of pull these little skirt pieces out of the way. Go ahead and put this piece back on here, down there. You can use this piece to guide where these other skirt pieces go. Then I'm gonna let this piece down. Then I'm gonna come up here. I'm going to fold these up out of the way, not tabbing them together yet. Move this rubber band. Now I'm gonna pull this one back down. I'm gonna pull this open. Spin that around, close that back up, like so. And then you can fold this little head flap up. Now I can take these dinosaur heads, fold these up, and this is really impressive. I really like how they got the dinosaur head on both shoulders. Although, like, realistically, there's no way that could be done. I'm just moving this rubber band out of the way. There's really no way, like, I mean, a dinosaur only has one head, so, like, in robot mode, him having two heads doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But they definitely found a cool way to implement that. But you can come down here, fold this in, rotate his arm back around, flare this little piece out, hinge his arm down. Now to come over to this arm here, you want to detach his little jaw there. This is also in there pretty tight. There we go. Detach that. Get his little arms out of the way there. Pull this down. Make sure the jaw is up. And then you can take his fist out from down here. I'll move my arm here. Pop it out. Spin it around. And then here, you take the jaw, it's on this little double hinge here. You just hinge that up. And then you kind of do whatever you want with his little dino hands. I kind of just put them here to kind of look like spikes on his fist or something. Then you take this head of the dinosaur, it's also on a double hinge. You just hinge it down to right there. Then you rotate him at the waist. And we are back in Grimlock's absolutely massive robot mode. If I can get him to stand there. There we go. Angle the camera up. Alright, so to finish this video, I think this is an awesome figure. It is definitely the largest one in my opinion, other than Devastator, but I'm not going to count him simply because he's a combiner. He has multiple figures in one. And really, Grimlock isn't that much smaller. Like, if I remember, I'll have to bust him out whenever I do a Devastator video, and I'll try to compare these two. And I'll show you, Grimlock is huge, even compared to Devastator. And it's weird. He's so big against some of these other characters. Like, if I had the SS-10 Jazz out, I'd show you he'd come up to like his knee. It's pretty insane. But overall, I really like this figure. I love the paint job on it. I like how big it is. It's not really to scale. He should be bigger, but that's fine. But all that being said, though, I really like this figure. I would recommend it for anybody's collection. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, let me know what figures to do in the future, and I hope you have a good day.